disaster must come. At best, only postponed. Shaolin Kung Fu, to survive, must now be taught to more young men.
Welcome once again to another episode of Fists, Kicks, and Flicks, the podcast about martial arts, movies, and life. I am one of your hosts, Eugene Plowden, and with me as always is my podcast partner, Mike Gibbs. What's happening, Mike?
Hey, Gene, how are you doing today?
I'm cool, man. All right, if this is your first time with us, I want you to know that we are members of the Martial Arts Inter Network. On Mondays, you got Raw with Mimi and Lump. Tuesday, CTE, Chris Travis Experience. Wednesday is us, Fists, Kicks, and Flicks, with Gene and Mike, and then Thursdays you can get the Inside Scoop with Alex and Jeff. For more information, you can check us out on our social media. It's Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. Mike, it's showtime. All right. Part two. Kickboxer. Where did we leave off last time? I think last time Kurt and Miley had they just were talking. She just got done talking with her uncle and told him what happened at the her store, how it got messed up. And now we started to see some physical attraction between Kurt and Miley at that point. Mm-hmm. More training. This time Zian takes Kurt to a place called Stone City. Did they really explain what that was, or did they just kind of give us like hints?
Just kind of like a historical place. I just took it as like that's where he took his fighters to train. I took it.
Yeah, but it looked kind of like later on in the movie you see something that kind of reminds you that maybe there was some like gladiator like type of fighting going on in there. Mm-hmm. Okay. So, you know, Zian takes Kurt there to train. He's doing some training. Same old stuff that he did in Bloodsport. But you know what's interesting about this movie that I noticed the last time I watched it is I think this is the most training a person has done for a fight. Like in a Karate Kid, it was not this much training. Of course, he did this little wax on and wax off and you know, all of that type of stuff. Right. But he is really training all throughout the movie.
The whole movie. The only movie I thought about that too. That's weird, man. We had the same mind wave. Because I thought about that too when I was watching. Man, this dude is training for this fight.
Yeah.
And then I thought about and the only movie I thought that came close was Best of the Best. The first Best.
Oh yeah.
Because that whole movie played around them.
Training. I love that movie.
Maybe that's the next one we review.
No. I kind of we're gonna make an announcement. We're gonna see. Well, I want to see that movie now because we'll get to that. Let's finish this one up.
No problem. Okay.
So then the next scene we got Kurt training underwater. He's doing some kicking of the palm tree to make his shin stronger. And then he hurt himself. And then the next scene after that, this is another thing they were doing in this movie. It was a lot of quick little scenes. Yeah. It was like they talk about something real quick, like maybe a 2-minute scene. The next thing you know, they're on to the next scene, real quick. And there's a lot of that back and forth like that. Yep. Because then right after that, after we see Kurt training, it cut to a scene of Tom Poe. He's in the ring competing, beating somebody up, and then we go back to Kurt like immediately. Yeah. You know, he's doing roundhouse kicks and jump kicks. I think Zian had some sticks or something in front of him, and he was kicking it, punching it. And then we go back to the palm tree. He's kicking it harder and harder, and he's starting to hurt himself. And then he kind of gives up and says, "That's it." And Zion tells him to pack your bag.
Gotta go.
Pack your bag and leave my house. Mm-hmm. Man, that right there.
They called him out and called him out about his brother right there.
Right, exactly. I mean, that lets you know that Zion was taking this personally, and he really knew what could happen to him if he didn't properly train. You know, yep. Mr. Miyagi ain't do that for Daniel.
No. He was like, wax the cars, boy. That was it.
So then Kurt starts kicking this palm tree over and over and over, and he's going fast. And it kind of reminded me of Tom Poe at the beginning of the movie when he was kicking that beam, the center beam. Yeah. But then eventually Kurt kicks this palm tree, and the tree falls down, and then Kurt falls down. He grabs his leg, and his shin is bleeding. I was thinking, like, man, I'm glad we never did nothing. My uncle was intense with his training, but we ain't never had to do nothing like that.
No, he's not crazy. Thank God.
So then they go back to another montage of him training. And he's getting stronger. We see this in the montage. And then there was like a point where Xian was like up high, like on a building, and he dropped, I don't know if it was a coconut or some type of fruit.
A coconut on his stomach.
Yeah, he drops it and he takes it and he said he's good. And he wasn't expecting the second one to come right behind it, and slam right into his abs. And then this was weird because this is most definitely something that could not happen in today when it comes to entertainment or whatever. So we get to Kurt in the hospital. He's seeing his brother Eric, and then Eric he just sexually assaults the nurse. He just grabs her ass, just out the blue. He just grabs this nurse's ass.
Yeah,
and
Me Too wasn't around then.
Exactly. I mean, and then they, everybody in there smiles and laughs, and even a doctor. So a nurse just gets sexually assaulted, and the doctor laughs. I said, "Hey, no way in hell something like this scene will get cut out of a movie."
In this day. Sure.
Yeah, that was just.
It wouldn't even be wrote into the script.
No, unless you're crazy to write something like that into the script. Yeah, I was like, whoa.
How long ago did we say this movie was made? 89?
I think 89 or 90, one of them. Was,
wow.
Yeah.
That's still, man.
Right. And it wasn't like a little tap either. Like he gripped it.
Yeah.
he gripped it, and the nurse was like upset. She stormed out of the room when that happened. I was like, oh man, this is a little dark right here. All right. Next scene after that, Kurt and Xian are they arrive back at his house, and Miley offers to make them lunch. And then Kurt asks her to go for a walk. And Xian tells Miley his training isn't done for the day. He has some place special he was going to take him after lunch. Right? So the next scene after that is the bar scene, Mike. Xian takes Kurt. They walk into a bar. Now, people are looking at him. They recognize him. I don't know if I don't know how they knew who he was. Maybe they knew he was.
Man, they knew he was Western.
Yeah, but I wonder if they knew that he was. Maybe they remember him from being Eric's brother, because
or word got around that he was the one that messed with them guys for messing up her store. And you marked.
Yeah, maybe because everybody's recognizing him. Well, people are looking at him in the store. And then Xian starts buying drinks, and he's giving Kurt drink after drink after drink, and he gets drunk. And then Xian tells him that he wants him to get up and dance, and he grabs a woman and brings her on the dance floor, and they start dancing. And man, I wonder, was this Jean-Claude Van Damme's idea to dance in this movie?
I don't know, man. I don't know what he was doing.
I think this was the funniest part of this whole movie, is watching him. I don't know if he was really dancing, or if he was trying to dance, or he was pretending to be drunk dancing.
Why was it funny?
Why was it funny? How bad Van Damme looked dancing?
You have never been to a white wedding.
You know what? You're right.
Because there's a whole bunch of that scene going on, my man. I'm here to tell you. It's that scene. See, like, I looked at it and I wasn't like, you sent it to me, and I was like, yeah, this isn't shit. This is a typical white wedding. This is how they dance.
I'm tripping that I've never been to one before. I'm really sitting here thinking it's like I've never been to one. Wow.
That's why I don't dance. That's why I don't dance.
You gotta honestly look better than what Van Damme was doing, though.
Oh, I think so, but all right.
Yeah. So if you guys watch it, you guys
it's the best scene of the movie.
Okay, so then Xeon, he sees people and he's talking to them. Well, we don't really see it. We find out later, but people jump up and start attacking
Yeah.
Kurt while he's dancing on the floor, and he just gets into a fight, and he's fighting off these different people. We don't know why at first, but then he eventually just takes all of these guys out. I don't know, it was like maybe 5 or 6 of them or something.
Yeah, a little handful of them. Yeah.
And mind you, he's drunk, and he comes stumbling out, and
he was offended.
He was offended.
He was offended, man. Why are they trying to fight me?
Oh yeah. But then Xeon tells him why though. Xeon says that he told those guys that they weren't good fighters, and their mom has had sex with a mule. So that's
donkey.
So that's why they got pissed and went after him like that, you know. So I can't blame him.
Nah.
All right. So then we get to the next scene. Kurt is fighting in a I don't know, like an exhibition. That's right. Let me go back a little bit. When Kurt first came out of the bar, Xeon was talking to a couple of guys, and these people were associated with Tong Po. I think they were. Yeah. I wasn't sure if that was Freddie Lee or not. I couldn't remember.
Yeah, I think it was Freddie. It was Freddie Lee.
It was Freddie Lee. Okay. Mm-hmm. So they end up getting Kurt like an exhibition fight, a warm-up fight for Tong Po, and he fights. Now he was smarter than his brother because he had
the trainer. The trainer's smart.
He had Taylor in his corner, and he also had Xian. So he was properly trained for his fight. So he knocked this guy out within the first round. And then the people in the crowd started saying Nutsukao, or something like that. Anyway, Nutsukao. Okay. So that means white warrior, if we said it correctly. It means white warrior. So the whole arena is chanting this. And then Kurt looks at Freddie Lee and all of his people, and he tells them that he wants Tong Po. Next scene after this, another one of those quick scenes, we see Eric in the hospital, and he's like reading the newspaper, and he sees that his brother fought and won, and he isn't happy. Like, kind of rips up the paper. Now, when you saw that, did you think that he was worried about his brother, or thinking that his brother was going to do better than him? Did you think he was jealous, or was he frustrated that that wasn't him?
I think he was frustrated. What two things? He could have been, worried about his brother's safety, but I don't know. That dude had an ego, so it could have been the jealousy.
Yeah. I didn't know.
Me either.
And then the next scene after that, he arrives at Xeon's place, and he's getting out the van. Taylor picked him up out the hospital and brought him to where everyone else is staying. And then, another quick scene again. Kurt is doing a form. He's doing kata. It's kind of weird how they worked that in. Was Van Damme a kata person?
He's a Shotokan person, so they have the Heians and stuff like that in their style, but I didn't know. I just knew he was in Shotokan. Okay. They have forms, so but it didn't look like no Shotokan form to me. I don't know what he was doing.
It was a mix of some type of regular form and then like a kung fu. Like it was like a mix.
Yeah.
Because it was like
hard
real
slow style.
Yeah. So then once again, Kurt goes back to the Stone City, but he's training by himself. His brother is looking for him, and Xeon tells him that he was training. And then we see Kurt, training on his own in that Stone City again.
With the eagle.
Yeah.
The eagle show. I never even understand that.
They never gave us any type of explanation. When you're watching this movie, every now and then this bird will come. I don't know if it's a hawk, an eagle, whatever.
I don't know what it is.
It's just looking, and he's looking like he's amazed about what he's seeing. It was weird. I don't know why they put that in there. Then Kurt comes walking back, and he sees Miley in the jungle, I guess, because I don't know. I don't think it was the woods.
Just out of nowhere.
Or the forest. And then he gives her those hungry eyes. You know what he wanted. They start kissing in the thunderstorm. And that was the end of that scene. You know, a lot of really, really quick scenes. Like we're getting ready to wrap up this movie pretty soon.
Yeah. Make me want to go walk in the woods in Indiana, boy. See what's going on.
All right. Okay, now next, Eric wants to talk to Kurt. He tells his brother he doesn't want him to fight Tung Po. He ready to go home now. He wants to go home.
Yeah.
But Kurt feels different. He feels like he's in the best shape of his life. And this is kind of bold, man. He said that he's even better than Eric now. I was like, hey, man, your brother's in a wheelchair. You gonna tell him like I'm better than you?
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know, man. If that was me and my brother was, hey, we're gonna leave, I'd have probably been like, all right.
Yeah, because really, what was the point? Like,
there's no point. If you're good with it, and I'm going home, I don't need to avenge anything. I'm gonna walk out of here. Let's go. Get a little ling, and we out of here.
Especially after that, because a messenger shows up, and he has like a scroll, and I guess basically Tung Po challenged him to fight like the ancients used to fight, in some underground temple, and they had ropes on their hands. Was it dipped in honey, and then dipped in glass? Like that was crazy.
More the reason I'd have been on that plane.
But no, that's not what Kurt did. We could go back to see him training some more. I was like, goodness gracious. Yeah, he was making sure. Now the next scene after that, we see Freddie Lee, and he goes to see somebody. I don't know who this guy was.
He's a mob boss.
Yeah, but they said his name. I rewound it back a couple times. I could never understood what he was saying. So I just, So, but Freddie Lee goes to him and requests $1 million. He want to bet on Tung Po to beat Kurt. $1 million. He's going to borrow $1 million from a mob boss. I wouldn't have did that.
No.
Next scene after this gets a little graphic again, folks. Yeah, Miley. Some reason, somehow, she gets kidnapped. Probably walking around in the jungle or forest again by herself. Well, anyway, she gets kidnapped, and by Tung Po and his people, and he slaps her and then takes her clothes off. We're made to believe that he took advantage of her right there at that part. As a matter of fact, we're led to believe it right there, but later on it gets confirmed, that he raped her. We see Freddie Lee placing his bets. He put that $1 million down on the fight. Another quick scene, and then we go back and we see Miley. Now this time she's sitting next to Zian, and she's crying, and he doesn't say anything. It was an interesting scene. Like he didn't really put his arm around her or nothing. He just was sitting there looking sad, But she was crying. She didn't tell Kurt. That was I thought she would have when she saw him.
Well, it comes out later why she didn't.
Yeah. But you go back, we see Kurt training again. I wrote this down like, oh my God, another training. I think we had like maybe 10 training sessions right now for him. I don't know. So then the next scene after that is another day. It's the next day. And Kurt is sitting outside and some guys show up and to attack him. He tries to fight in a wheelchair, but that's not going to work.
I ain't gonna lie, I almost turned the movie off right here.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. When they threw the knife,
they knifed the dog, man.
Yeah, they knifed the dog. The dog gets him in the ribs.
I'd have killed them motherfuckers. I'd have killed them over my brother. I love my dogs.
But the dog didn't die? He took out
No, they saved it. He saved it.
Yeah.
Well, that's why I was getting ready to turn it off, because I watched the movie and I forgot. And then they were like, "Oh, he's breathing." I'm like, "What?"
Yeah. So they saved. So Taylor pulls up. Actually, he was the first person to get there, and he's looking around. He sees that Eric is gone. You just see the wheelchair turned over, and you see the dog laying there with the knife sticking out of his body. And then that's when Zian, Miley, Kurt, they all show up from another direction, and they're asking Taylor what happened. He didn't know. He said that he just said Tom Poe's people, and Kurt jumped to conclusions and thought that Taylor was there, and that was kind of bold. He was like, were you here? And he said, why I wouldn't have let them take him. And then he said something to the fact like you did it before, based upon what Taylor had already told him.
Yeah, about, his history.
History in the military. So that was messed up, yeah. That was kind of out of line, Kurt was lucky Taylor didn't swing at him. So then Zian asked him to take him to the vet, the doctor for the dog. So they put the dog in the back of Taylor's van, and then that's when Miley is asking Taylor for help, and Taylor doesn't want to have anything to do with it to help them anymore because he was insulted. And that's when Miley tells Taylor that she was raped by Tom Poe. So that I think that really affected him at that point right there. Because the next time we see Taylor, he's gonna be a little different. So
Taylor's now it's somebody you want to be friends with, though.
Yeah, he's like you, man. He's like because he had a little bit of crazy in him, probably a lot of bit of crazy in him.
Man, that's messed up.
But when the time is right, when it's time to throw down, Taylor's there. It's like you.
Okay.
So it's fight time. They're getting ready for the fight. Everyone is there. They have not found Eric at this point, and Zian is there at first at the fight. Then he leaves. Kurt doesn't really know he leaves. They're getting their hands wrapped, and we see the ceremony. They put the ropes on, dipping their hand in honey, and then putting it in the glass. And then Freddie Lee comes over to Kurt, and it says, "If you want your brother alive, make the crowd happy. Let Tom Poe punish you the whole time." Man, I don't know what I would have did right there.
He was doing it though.
Yeah, he was. He was taking a beating.
Damn.
Or he had to, or his brother would have died slowly. That's what Freddie Lee had told him. So now another quick shot. We see Zian. He knows where Eric is. He goes there. I don't know why they just didn't do that before the fight even started. Like everybody could have just went. We see the dog there. The dog is at the show. He's there. He got a bandage on him.
That motivated me.
So the fight begins. They're circling each other, and just like you said, man, Kurt is taking a beating. He is constantly getting punished at this point. And there's a lot of back and forth between Zian going to rescue Eric, and then Kurt taking a beating in the ring. So it's a bunch of back and forth scenes. Zian runs a car through the building that they were holding Eric in, and he ends up running somebody over.
Yeah.
He gets out of his car. He gets out, and then all of the guys pull their guns on him. They have some, heavy artillery. Back in the ring, Kurt's getting beat up some more. I don't know if this was round 2 or 3 or what.
I want to ask you something about the fight.
Yeah.
At the beginning of each round, did you see Tong Po was like pointing to his fist or his elbow?
Yeah, I did notice
was
that.
He just like doing the Richard Plowden and telling him what he's gonna hit him with?
I think that's exactly what he was doing because he didn't do this. He didn't do it the same way every single time. I think he was telling him what he was going to hit him with in that round. So
he sure was.
So then we go back to Zian, and he's about to get shot up when Taylor shows up, and he has a bunch of big guns himself, and he just takes everybody out, shoots everybody, all the Tom Poe's people, and then him and Zian end up rescuing Eric.
Somebody you want? I'm telling you, that's your friend. That's somebody you want.
Then we go back to the ring. Kurt and Tom Poe are still in there fighting. At one point in time, he gets like Tom Poe hits him in the body with a body shot, and you just see a bunch of scrape come off of his body, a bunch of blood. Did you see that part right there? I flinched at that part, you know, because I was.
Did you really?
Yeah, I did. I ain't gonna lie. I wasn't expecting it because they hadn't even. It was almost like I forgot that they had glass on their hands because they really didn't even talk about it. You know, Kurt was getting beat up throughout the earlier rounds, and we didn't really see him like really bleeding. He should have been bleeding a lot more since they had those, you know.
Yeah, but he didn't really start punching him until
it was mainly like elbows and knees.
Yeah,
headbutts,
till that
elbows,
end round.
Okay.
And then that one round, Tom Poe just pointed to the hands.
Okay.
It's coming.
So he saved it.
It's coming. Oh, yeah, he saved it. And then he hit him with that double back fist thing.
Yeah. Yeah. So, man.
It made that noise, too.
But then, what really pissed him off, he was laying down, and Tom Poe tells Kurt that he bleeds like Miley. And Miley,
oh, Lord.
And then he said, Miley is a good fuck. And I said, damn. Now he done lost it.
He's not killing.
Yeah, he found out that you been with her? I ain't even been there yet. You been there.
Right.
You know. But he didn't say that he raped her. Tom Poe didn't tell Kurt that. Kurt could have been thinking like maybe they had a relationship in the past. We don't know.
Right.
Yeah.
Because he goes back in the corner and don't really say. He was just like, tell me the truth.
Right. That's it.
Yeah.
So, you know, he might have not even known, you know, what he had did to her. You know? So, I don't know. It's interesting. But then he gets back in the ring. He's ready to fight. Then he hears his brother whistles. He looks up and he sees his brother, and he's with Taylor and Zion, and then he knows, okay, I can win now. I can fight. He's fighting. He eventually tells Miley to take the ropes off. So she ends up cutting the ropes off his hands. I wonder why he did that, because the glass could have been like weapons for him also.
I don't know. Because he don't even really get to punching at him.
Nah, not really.
He uses all those jumps, spin kicks, and hook kicks, and he don't even really punch him.
Yeah.
And the crowd started chanting Nuke Su Cow again.
Yep.
At that point. Eric started it.
Yeah, that's right. He did. He did start it. And this is pretty much the end of the movie now, because all he does is just beats Tom Poe. He knocks him out the ring a couple of times. The first time he kicked him out the ring, Tom Poe got back in with like a torch and was running at him. Yeah, he tried to stab him. But he eventually gets knocked out of the ring and beat up, and he finally gets taken out. And then he also ends up hitting Freddie Lee. Kurt ends up knocking Freddie Lee out also, which was cool.
Hits him with that hook kick to Tom Poe, and then holds it. Round kick.
Yeah.
Over.
And that was pretty much the end. After that, you know, Tom Poe fell down, and Kurt walked over to, you know, his friends and his brother, and, you know, we see the credits. And that was the end of Kickboxer. Wasn't bad, Mike.
Yeah. It wasn't bad. Have you seen Kickboxer 2?
No. Well, yes, I did. Back in the day.
I don't remember watching it.
No. My bad. My bad. No, my bad. That's Bloodsport 2 I saw. Okay. Kickboxer 2, no.
Van Damme's not in it?
I don't know.
I
don't know if he is or isn't. But this movie, I think, like, out of the 3 movies that we watched so far, this right here is the best.
Without a doubt. Without a doubt.
Better than Fearless Tiger, and it was better than Bloodsport, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I enjoyed this one a lot more than the other 2.
I did too.
So, Mike, the next movie we're gonna watch for next week. What did you say you wanted to see?
Shoot Fighter.
That's right. So, it's I don't know. It's the first movie, because, you know, with these movies they have different Shoot Fighter 1, 2, or 3, but they don't call them that. They'll say it's like Shoot Fighter Vengeance or Shoot Fighter, you know, Fist of Death. You know, so I saw one on here. Is this the one with Bolo and Martin Cove? from
sure.
Because I couldn't find the movie anywhere. Eventually, I couldn't find it on.
That's the tough thing. We got to make sure that they're films we
Right.
can watch.
Right.
I'm not trying to spend no $15 for.
No, you can watch. You can watch. You spent $15 on Kickboxer? No way. You can't say. Oh, okay.
No, I got a friend.
No, actually, this movie's on YouTube. I looked it up, and if it's the same one that you were already talking about, because I saw Mike Bernardo was in it.
Yeah, that's the one.
Okay, so Mike Bernardo's in it. I've never seen this movie before, so this will be the first time I've seen it. But I've
seen it a long time ago.
Okay, so I noticed that William Zabka is in it and Martin Cove. Now, for those who don't know, William Zabka was he was Johnny Lawrence in the Karate Kid movie, and Martin Cove was Sensei Crease in the Karate Kid movie. So that was pretty sweet to see that they're in this movie also.
Yeah.
And then also
that's the one.
Yeah. Okay. So also Mike Bernardo is also in it, like we said, and Bolo. And it looked like Bolo wasn't playing a bad guy this time. Does he speak English?
I don't know. Oh, you know something I meant to tell you when I was looking about Kickboxer? That, during Kickboxer, Tong Po didn't have that many written, lines.
He really did.
But they paid a guy to do a voiceover for him.
Wow. That would have been nice. You literally didn't even say a paragraph.
He literally said 6 words.
He said 6 words?
I mean, it wasn't a lot.
Okay. No, it wasn't. Yeah, I didn't even think about it. It was always those are Tom Poe's people, or Tom Poe's. Yeah, but we really didn't see too much of him. Matter of fact, the only time we saw him was in the ring. Okay, we saw him 4 scenes, in the ring. There's 2 times in the ring against Kurt and against Eric. We saw him in the that back
exhibition, that fight he had.
Yeah, okay. So we saw him 5 times because the other time was when he was with Miley.
Yeah.
That was it. He only had 5 scenes. Wow. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Trav. You gonna get Chris on? Okay, so we're gonna talk about UFC 249. You saw that, right, Mike?
No, I watched the last round of the Verdun. I watched the Pettis fight. And then I watched the main event. That was it.
Okay.
I didn't watch the whole card.
Yeah. So I didn't watch the whole card, but I watched most of the card. I started at 7. I started at 7, and I was like, man, I watched it till 1 o'clock in the morning. I said, okay, I'm not going to do that
again. Let me ask you this, because I haven't bought one in forever, and I really don't pay attention to what time they start. Are they starting at 9 or 10 still? Because I get caught up with the preliminaries and all that. But remember, for a while they were starting them at 9.
No, they're starting them at 10, as far as I know.
They went back to 10.
The main card is 10. They do all
right.
Whoa,
as early as
guy?
7. I had to jump in. I had to get my fist, my kicks, and my flicks on.
So we got
intruder.
We got Chris Walker, C Walk. He in here with us tonight. What's up, Chris?
What's going on, Gene? How you doing?
I'm good, man.
Awesome.
So we just about to start talking about UFC 249. What you think of it?
One, it was nice to see live sports back on TV.
Yeah,
man.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I talked a little bit with Travis about it on our show. It was nice to see the crowd. Mm-hmm. With the no booing, no stand 'em up, no craziness. It was quiet. You could watch the fight as a fighter. You could appreciate what was going on. You could hear the intelligent coaching, sometimes not intelligent coaching, but you could hear what the cornermen were saying. And it was just like you could feel the fight. So
you could hear the
like
shots.
That.
You could hear the shots.
Oh yeah, it was clear.
Oh.
You know what? I think it was kind of in our subconscious already to enjoy this, because if you ever watched The Ultimate Fighter, this is what it was like at the
in
watching
the show.
Fighter.
Yes,
right. It's exactly like that. So when I saw it, I said, okay, this is really not so bad. You can hear the corner people talking, and then if you looked into the audience, you could see there was some people, but there were probably personnel that was just sitting behind the the people that were taking the pictures behind them, I was looking into the audience. You could kind of see some people back there.
Right.
So that was cool. That was nice to see. But I was not bored. I was telling Mike, I started watching at 7. What time did you start watching?
Probably about 7:30. I was doing some stuff with the kids, and then I started putting it on the phone while I was finishing up with them, and then put it on the TV and sat down and enjoyed the rest of my night.
Yeah, you know what? It wasn't bad, and I have not watched it any type of MMA, on a regular the last 4 to 5 years.
Right.
Before that, I used to be in it all the time.
Heavy, right? I'm the same way.
Yeah, but now the last 4 or 5 years, I haven't really gotten to watch every card.
No.
Between UFC and Bellator. But one thing I did notice, I don't know if you guys noticed this, there wasn't a lot of ground and pound on this card. Mm-hmm. If they went to the ground, they were doing submissions.
Yes.
You had a lot of wrestlers on this card though too.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. I noticed that as well because same thing, Gene. There wasn't a whole lot of ground and pound. There was more straight into grappling, straight into the transitions, hand fights. It was nice to see. It was actually what it brought me back to. It was like watching old Pride. Okay. It was quiet. Yes. They didn't do the elbows. They didn't do all that. It was just you could hear what was going on. Every occasional there's the nice little claps that they would do, and then, but you could see it. And then the ground wasn't ground and pound, with the exception of the few Americans who would come over and do that.
Mm-hmm. You know what I noticed, what I heard and I found interesting was. It was even though there was noise, it was still quiet enough for the fighters to hear the commentators. Because did you guys peep what Greg Hardy said? I think that was Greg Hardy who said that he heard Daniel Cormier said that he wasn't checking the kicks.
Yeah. So he was like, yeah.
So then he started making that adjustment. He starts checking the kicks, and he mentioned it in his interview that he heard. So I was like, wow. So the commentators are either speaking really loud or it's really quiet in there that they can hear.
I think it's just quiet because they're so used to everything around them that when there's nothing else, it's kind of like fighting in the gym. It's kind of like training. Mm-hmm. Right. And the commentators are literally right there attached to the stage. They're attached to the ring. So I mean, depending on where they are in that big freaking 30-foot cage, I'm sure.
Right. But yeah, I didn't really get bored with what I saw, and I watched all of the fights. Starting at 7:00. Did you guys have a favorite fight?
Go ahead.
I mean, the fight I wanted to watch that I missed was the Jeremy Stevens fight because I wanted him to get his ass whooped. Because you come in 4.6 pounds overweight. You didn't even train. Or if you train, that's just so unprofessional to come in at 4.6 pounds overweight. And Jeremy Stevens has a wrestling background, so he knows how to cut weight.
Right.
There's no excuse.
Man, he's fought so many fights. Forget all the what you did and what. Listen, man, you've been in the UFC since I've been watching the UFC since I was in high school, man. Like this dude knows what he's doing. Come on.
He has a lot of losses. I looked at his win-loss record when they he had like 17 losses before Saturday.
Does he really?
Yeah, I was like,
he just fights a lot. He just fights a lot, and all of his fights are super exciting. And that's kind of certain people can always stay on that roster. They'll cut people real quick, but certain people stay on. Certain people stay on. Yes, exactly. Bro, my man Cerrone. I thought Cerrone won that fight though.
I didn't know between him and Pettis. That was a good fight.
It was a really good fight, but yeah, I gave that edge to Cerrone, and I was a little surprised, not like befuddled or anything, but I was a little surprised that Pettis got the nod.
Mm-hmm. Wow, he does fight a lot.
I think he was kind of surprised too. Pettis looked a little bit surprised too when he heard that he won.
He was like,
right.
All right. Yeah. Yeah.
But it was still good. I thought Cerrone was gonna the way that because of how he lost to Connor. I thought that Pettis was gonna beat him up. I thought it was gonna be a quicker fight.
Oh no, I thought Cerrone was actually going to come out and get the TKO in the second, because I thought he was going to come out and when he came out with that interview and said, I showed up as Donald, I didn't come out as Cowboy, I wasn't there and all that. I thought he was going to come back and be like this and against this guy, but yeah.
Okay. All right. What did you tell me what your favorite fight was, Mike?
No, I mean, my favorite fight, the reason why I watched was the Ferguson fight because I like Tony, but
he did not.
He didn't show up.
I think that here's two things, man. I'm not making excuses because I love the dude because he's from Michigan and went to Grand Valley, wrestled at Muskegon Community College, and all that, and he's from the neck of the woods, but he's one of those fighters that I feel, if you believe in this, and some people don't, that plays off a crowd. If you look at how he does his pre-fight or his warm-ups, it's to the old roller skate music. He's out there breakdancing. He's putting on a show. He feeds off that energy. I think that hurt him, not having that energy. I mean, there's no excuse. You're in there fighting, but I think that helped. Or that hurt him, actually. And then I actually think his orbital bone got broken the first round.
Man, you were watching it closely. I wasn't.
Yeah.
He winced a few times after a few of those big shots at the end of the first. I wasn't sure if it was at the end of the first. But I knew he was hurt. Yeah.
Yeah.
I trained with Tony a lot when I lived in California. I was watching for Tony as well. I like Tony a lot. It just seemed like he couldn't close that gap. Justin just stayed right on that outside and stayed with long shots, and he wasn't expecting that. He was expecting
Here's something Justin didn't do that other people do. When Tony does, he'll act like he's taking that step back and then switch from left to right and not really move, but he just switches his stance in place. Most people will either circle or they step back when Tony does that. And Justin held the ground, and he was meeting him when he did that change, and he was literally making up the distance for Justin, so Justin could just step in and clock him. I mean, Justin played a smart game and didn't react to that movement, weird movement he has.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was a good fight.
It was a good fight.
What did you guys think of the fact that they even had this event? Because it was kind of risky. Like, I was thinking about, okay, how are these fighters, actually even doing a proper training camp?
That was my first get go. You saw it with the couple of the heavyweights. You saw it with the Fabricio Verdum fight.
He looked horrible.
They didn't look like they were getting any training at all.
Yeah.
I was a little sketchy on it. I was like, man, I know the WWE did it, and I get it, so I'm cool with it. And then to come to find out, Jacare was positive for coronavirus, COVID, or whatever.
Yeah. So, because he could single-handedly end this whole thing for everybody for a little while.
Right now, depending on how this plays out for the next couple of weeks, if anybody else gets it and it spreads out from him.
But that's the big risk. Like, even I don't understand. Like, they even said they tested the fighters before they fight, but you should have tested them 2 weeks ago for the fight. For it, because it's not going to show up. They're not going to be sick there.
Right.
So you're not test anybody that's going to show any type of symptoms right then and there. I don't know. It was I don't know. I think it was a gamble. And are they doing one tomorrow?
Yep. Oh, I don't know. I know they're doing the next.
I heard them say that there was a fight on Wednesday night. Man, I can't think of who was supposed to be on the card either.
Was it a fight
I know they're
night?
doing
Was
the
it
next
a fight
pay per
night?
view.
I think it's a fight night. Yeah, I think it's a fight night. But I was
Overeem one.
It might be the Overeem one. It might be.
Get on this real quick.
But,
Did you guys see the payouts?
No.
I didn't see.
Yeah, so Ferguson got $500,000, and
really?
Justin got $350,000, and then they got fight of the night bonus. So Ferguson cleared $550,000. So what'd he bring home? $253,000.
Then
you got your orbital bone busted up.
Nah, they pay for all that. Plus they got pay-per-view. Plus they got more than that. They got a bunch more than that. But salary-wise, yeah, that's.
So
probably...
let me ask you this, Chris.
Yeah.
Because I don't know. So do all the fighters get a percentage of the pay-per-view buys, or just the main events?
Depending on contracts and main events.
Okay.
Like 90% of the time, a title holder is going to have that in their contract from the time they get their title and whatnot. Certain big stars, obviously, McGregor's getting pay-per-view buys, period, in the discussion. Right. So Cormier does too, even when he wasn't champion, just based upon, structure and how that works. But yeah, definitely not everybody. There's still dudes getting paid, like 13, 14 grand fight.
And now they're not even making that extra money with the sponsors like they were before. Like,
oh no,
I know Reebok
they got that percentage package on the tier system based upon what level and ranking you are. Yeah, but it's nowhere near like what they used to be able to do.
That's not right. Man.
Yeah, whoever Greg Hardy fought, he only got $12K.
That's what I'm saying.
The Castro.
Yeah,
but he broke his. Didn't he break his foot or something in that fight? Was that him?
I think so. His whatever it was. Yeah, I think he got jacked up. But like I said, they only do that for what they write out for tax purposes. They get behind the scenes bonuses. They get last minute fight signage bonuses. They'll get all kinds of stuff depending on what it is. It's still not what it should be, and it's still not what the company makes. But I mean, they do get a bit more than what they give out for salaries.
Gene, did you like this event? Were you happy?
You know what? I was happy because I was expecting worse. So
I know I'm going somewhere with this question though. This is a leading question.
Yeah, okay.
I know why you were happy.
Why?
They announced what during this?
Your
boy. I don't know. Going into the Hall of Fame.
Oh, GSP, I did like that. GSP,
yeah, your boy.
I did like that. Yeah. Another thing, I had something. And you still have that up on your computer, Mike? Did Ngannou did he win knockout of the night? Because he
had to. Yeah, I don't think his knockout was better than Cater, the dude that knocked out Jeremy Stevens.
Yes. So him and Justin both got a $50K bonus, and then fight of the night was Justin and Tony.
So wait, who got the knockout of the night?
They didn't. They just did performance of the night.
Performance of the night. Yeah, they don't always call it knockout or submission anymore. There's
Ngannou and fight. Justin.
Okay.
See, I thought they should have gave it to Cater, what his name is, the dude that knocked out Jeremy Stevens.
Yeah.
He was nasty, Calvin. That was a good fight.
What about Dominic Cruz? Did you think he was knocked out? Because he was standing up, and I think it was Herb Dean. Did he stop the fight? I think if Herb Dean stopped it earlier, I could understand. But once Dominic started getting up, he started standing up. He recovered. I didn't understand that.
Yeah, no, I didn't either. I thought that was a bit early of a stoppage. I thought he could have gone on a little bit more, knowing how Dominic fights and some of the stuff that he's been in. But I don't know. Herb Dean's not always the best at making the decisions, either stopping early or way, way late. So,
right. Was there another early stoppage? Let me go. It might have been on the undercard.
Was the Dominic Cruz fight good though? I didn't see it.
It was okay.
Was he doing okay? Right. Did he look okay?
Yeah, Cruz looked like Cruz. Henry looked like Henry secured, swarmed.
No, do you think he's going to retire?
I don't think so. I think it's like he's kind of like that character. He's young. He might take a year or two off, and then he'll probably come back. But
okay.
I don't know. You never know. That was not a bad move. he won both belts. He defended both belts, and he's like, "Oh, good."
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right.
I don't see anything interesting down there at those weights.
But that boy was nasty as a wrestler.
Oh yes.
I mean, he went to Olympic trials. He actually I think Brent Metcalf actually beat him, who is a phenomenal wrestler. Was one, and it's no slouch, is the person that beat him, if I remember correctly, back in the day. But he's just an awesome wrestler, man. Olympic style wrestler. I mean, he's that level.
Yeah, you can see it. I've watched him do a couple of tutorial videos of like shots and different types of things, and you're like, oh wow.
His sweep single is nasty. He's only 33 too. So
okay.
33, 34, something like. No, I don't even think he's that old. He might be 30.
I thought he was like 30, 31. Yeah. But that card that we were talking about, it's Glover Teixeira and Anthony Smith.
That's tomorrow?
Yeah, on the 13th, yeah.
That's crazy. Like they get right back to it, man. That's ridiculous. They should wait. They should wait a little bit. You know, is that also going to be in Jacksonville?
I think everything's in Jacksonville.
Yeah, more than likely it doesn't.
No, I saw something that they were going to do in Vegas soon. I'm not sure what fight that was.
Yeah, they're doing it at the Memorial Arena at Jacksonville again.
For tomorrow nights.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
I did see that they were trying to start opening it up and getting back out to other places, but Florida right now is gung ho. Everybody's essentially in Florida.
So it's only a matter of time before Bellator tries it too, huh?
Oh yeah. Boxing's on its way in, trying to get in there as well.
But I mean, all right. I don't know how many empty arena sporting events I want to see. Like, I'm not sure I want to see the NBA players playing in an empty arena. I don't know if I want to see a football game.
I can't watch football in an empty arena. There is no way in hell.
No. There's basketball, football, like team sports. No. I can watch fighting. I can watch boxing. I can do that. Wrestling, I can do all of that. But no.
Yeah.
No hockey.
So
no
my daughter is the cheerleader for the Lions.
Right.
And they're telling them right now, because they're picking their squad right now. They're going through it, and they're like, it's not looking good.
Yeah, it's understandable. It's understandable, you know. So, you know, we got to sit down. We might have to sit down for a year and a half, 2 years.
Shit, you Indiana's live, boy.
Right.
Indiana.
Well, I'm talking about doing it big, man. I'm talking about like going on cruises.
Oh yeah.
Like
that's over.
Oh yeah.
Vegas.
I'm just happy the Mexican
Disney
spot's
World.
open. Shit.
What'd you say?
I'm just happy the Mexican spot's open.
Tacos, baby.
Yeah. Oof.
All right, before you go.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Chris.
No, I was gonna say I'm here in Georgia. We're starting to open, baby. They're wild here.
Yeah, man. I see your governor, man. I don't know what to say about him. I don't know what to say about him.
Me neither, man.
All right, my last topic I got. I want you to answer this too, Chris, and I'll speak on it too. But what do you guys think? This is something personal to you, not what other people think, but personal to you. What is your greatest accomplishment that you've achieved by being a sports martial artist or a martial artist in general? I'll go first. This is my question. Give y'all time to think. Mine was getting my black belt because I wanted to be like my dad and my uncle, you know, and have my black belt. All of my best friends, my brother, were in class with me, you know. One point in time when we were training, my uncle mentioned in class that out of everybody, it was like 7 of us in class, and he said that maybe one of you guys will get your black belt. Maybe one of you will get your black belt, you know. And the day that we finally got our black belt, we all went up to him and said, "Hey, remember you told us that maybe one of us is gonna get a black belt?" No, we all did, you know. I slept with my black belt when I got it. Like, it was, I ain't gonna lie, it was on the pillow right next to me. So I was.
Oh no, mine was on my waist. I slept in my belt. I slept with my belt on. No,
me
lie.
Too.
It was tight and I slept in it. No lie. Yes, sir.
What do you think, Mike? What's yours?
I got 2, like a memory and an accomplishment.
Okay.
So, like, my accomplishment was not a lot of things that made me cry in my life, but when I promoted my son to black belt, that was special. Okay. That was very special. And then memory was my ego was better than what I really was. And I was going to wait and come out as an adult at 15 years old at your uncle's tournament because I was in Shock the World. I was going to fight adult and Shock the World. And I won up till first place, and then I had to fight Scorp. And that dude beat the shit out of me. And I was like, what the fuck just happened? Like, what year was that? Different, man. This 91? Was like 91, something like that. Okay. And man, my headgear came off, and we went out of the ring, and I'm not gonna lie, I destroyed the video. That's how bad it is. I wish I wouldn't have now, right? Because I would look back and laugh. But he had me out of the ring, bent down, headgear came off, pounding on the back of my head numerous times. I had kicked him.
Like, you got to spank off the rip. In a tournament? You got to spank it at a tournament?
Ass whoop, Gene. Ask your uncle about here. So I had kicked him right off the rip. Bam! 2. And that was it. Shit.
That was game over.
I can't even tell you what.
Nobody warned you? No, there was no OG standing there saying, hey, run.
At this point in time, he wasn't with our squad, so we wasn't going to say that.
I wasn't with him. I was with my other instructor, and he wasn't there. He wasn't there.
So you didn't know. Did you know? Yeah. Did you know who Scorp was?
Oh yeah, I knew who he was. Because I had read and things.
Yeah.
But, and see, but a local guy that Gene and Travis will maybe remember is Ira Kendricks.
Yeah.
He was training with the organization that I was kind of with at the time, and he came up to me. He was like, "You know who you about to fight?" I'm like, "Yeah." He was like, I'll pray for you.
Ira was my boxing coach when I was doing MMA. He was my boxing coach.
Yeah.
Ira, you know what? I ain't gonna even tell this story. Never mind.
But that was a fond memory, because there's not a lot of people our age that have fought, because I was a little bit older. I got to fight some good people. Like, a lot of people can't say they got their ass whooped by Scorp. So that's a good memory, even though I got my ass whooped. But overall, martial arts is my son getting his black belt. What about you, Chris?
Probably as of right now, getting my black belt as the number one thing. And funny enough, without ever asking, without ever prying, without ever trying to talk her into it, my wife showed up one day in a gi and has pursued her career and started as a white belt. She goes, I'm not sure if I'm going to spar, and I'm not sure if I'm going to yell for no reason, but I'm going to do class and I'm going to do my best. And I was just like, well, all right then. Break the board and you get the belt.
Hey, you know what, man? Yeah. You know what? I'm gonna most definitely have my lady hear this part of the podcast. She got a uniform and she's done a couple of training sessions with me, but she hasn't did it in maybe about 9 months now. But I gotta get her back. I gotta get her back into training.
Mine does it too.
That's what's up. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Mine just had the baby, so she's on her way back in, but she's ready. She told me she was ready.
Okay,
good to go.
All right. You got anything else, Michael Chris, for us?
Man, no, I appreciate you just letting you guys let me come on and talk with y'all a little bit. I love y'all show, so keep it up, man. It's always entertaining. I watched Bloodsport after listening to the show. I love y'all.
Thanks, man. Thanks.
It was great. I had to afterwards because I was listening to y'all and then I put it on and I was like,
Did you watch Fearless Tiger? Did you make it through that?
I haven't made it all the way through it yet.
Okay. Yeah.
I keep going back and forth and I get a little bit further and then I gotta walk away for a little while and I come back. It's saved in my watch for later, so like I can always go back to it.
Okay, for sure. Hey, you know what? I listen to you and Trav's podcast, and I'm gonna give you a call, man, because I want to talk to you about doing the private lessons, and I want to pick your brain a little bit.
Absolutely, man.
Because I'm about to start doing that for my kids, and I know a lot of parents have reached out to me. They sent me emails or called wanting to get back in, want to know what we're going to do. So I just want to, figure out what's the best way to do it, because this is nothing that I ever thought that I would have had to have done.
Right.
So this I've never ever thought about. So I just want to. I heard you talk about you've been doing it for a while. I just want to pick your brain on a couple things.
Absolutely. Anytime. I'd be more than happy to give anything I got.
All right, for sure. Anything, Mike?
No, next movie.
Shoot Fighter.
Shoot Fighter.
Yeah.
Oh man, I remember watching that on the VHS from Far More Video, man. Oh,
I've never seen this movie, so this is gonna be the first time that I've ever seen it. I've seen Kickboxer, I've seen Bloodsport, I've seen Fearless Tiger, so this is gonna be the first time that I go into a movie blind. So this
wow.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm just gonna let you enjoy this, and then I'm not going to give nothing up.
Well, when we do these reviews, man, I know I watched the movie. I watched the movie about 4 times. Right. I watched it the first time just to just to enjoy it.
Right.
The second time I watch it, I do it to take notes, and then I do it 3 times because right before we do the second half of the podcast, I rewatch that second half of it again to take more notes.
Right.
So I watched movies 3 times, so it's gonna be
You watched Fearless Tiger 3 fucking times.
Actually, I watched Fearless Tiger 5 times.
Man, you fucking sick, man.
I watched it actually 5 times.
Damn.
Yeah.
Man, listen, I ain't got all the way through it. Yeah, I'm telling you, you a bad man.
I for sure watched it 4, but one time my lady wanted to see it. Well,
what the fuck?
Yeah, so
she just wanted to see what was going on. She walked by the TV 3 times and was like, "What is this? I gotta see what he's watching."
She just wanted to see Rick.
Yeah, so she never seen him.
Okay.
She didn't know he did a movie.
She's fam though. Okay, she gets a pass.
Right.
Oh, but she was like, "What is this?" She was like that was fake. That was stupid. Like she was like, "I'm lost in this movie." I was like, I wouldn't say that you should have watched it from the beginning, but you're going to be even more. We already know. That's why we watching it, baby. Just enjoy it. But all right. So we're gonna close it down. That's the end of our show for this week. We'll be back next week with our first Shoot Fighter review. Also, if you got some wrestling toys and you don't want them at your house,
man, listen. I went through my bin. I got that same hillbilly Jim. I do. Junkyard Dog. Oh, I'm ready. I'm sending them.
Mike Gibbs.
We got the Macho Man tonight.
Ooh, yeah.
Mike is doing restorations on these wrestlers, or he's buying them from you. So get in contact with Mike.
Seriously. So I'll just be honest with you what I'm doing, because there were some people skeptical about giving me their guys.
Right.
They're like, no, but I need probably like 6-7 to complete my set, and I'll have every series.
You know what?
And I want it for my personal set, and the only one that really has what I need is Doss, and he's being stingy. Like he teases me. Like today about 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, he sent me, so I have X, Y, and Z in picture. He sends pictures, and then I said, okay, tell me the price. And then nothing. Cricket. So I don't know if he still plays with them. I don't know what the deal is. And I told him, I said, look, man, I'm not doing it to flip them. Right. I need these to complete my set. Like, bro, I'll probably will it to you. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Somebody else got one that you want.
There's a bunch of them. I'll take any of them, depending, as long as I don't have to get into.
I'll saw your list that you sent. You said, did you need an Andre the Giant with the short hair?
Yeah.
With the cross.
No, he doesn't have a. He has on
either.
He has on blue.
There's Andre with the regular trunks with long hair.
Yep.
Andre with regular blue trunks and short hair.
The blue.
Yeah,
then there's a short hair Andre with the King Kong.
The King Kong Bundy joint.
Travis has the Andre with the short hair. Yeah.
I do.
Yep, you do.
Travis Gene, this don't even need it. Travis don't even need to be involved in this. Travis didn't even know what he has. So you and I were working on a deal. We don't need to bring Travis in this.
Hey, Travis, about to unmute his mic. Like, what's up? Hey, hold on.
Okay.
Don't throw out Nancy and I give it to you.
Shit, I might just bow out.
Well, all right,
Okay.
we're about to wrap it up from the Martial Arts Internet Network. This is Gene and Mike. Fists, Kicks, and Flicks. We'll see you guys next week. See ya. Peace.